for £1, any two strawberry, two boxes for £2, 4 for £2 figs. Come on in today, 2 for £1, sir. 2 for £1, 2 boxes, £2. Oh. Amazing, thank you. Rice is £1.50.
This is the first time a Scottish person has ever been at a fruit and vegetable stall, and I'm here to interview Adam Whitehorn, London's leading greengrocer. Tell us about prices and availability on fruit and vegetables, Adam.
Well, everything's going up at the moment. Produce is about 30% dearer. Customers hate us at the moment. I mean, we're talking about figs. Last year was the dearest we've ever been, 5 for £2. At the minute, they're 5 for £3, which is sort of 50% increase. Yeah, it's not good times.
And how much will it cost to go up the Clyde in a banana skin?
More than I can afford, anyway.
I know last year you stopped selling onions when the price went up too much. Anything like that this time?
Well, we're at that point with the figs at the moment,
okay.
and almost anything coming into season, there's a big... We and ah whether to buy off our suppliers to try to teach them a lesson not to put the prices up, but kind of had to bite the bullet and buy it now because everything's expensive. So.
I better let you get on to your next customer, because you're not going to get any money off a tight-fisted jock, are you?
No.
I'm Alistair McIntosh, and welcome to this week's edition of Food. Glorious food. You saw that clip of my friend Adam. When the lockdown first started, he was going to shut his stall in central London because, of course, no one was around. But then the elderly tenants in the local authority blocks nearby asked him to stay open, partly because his prices were keener than the supermarkets, and also because they could get their fruit and vegetables without waiting in the enormous long queues you will recall from supermarkets throughout much of the lockdown. So he is on the side of the angels and has a keen idea of what the public wants. And you heard direct from the horse's mouth about the escalating costs of food. You already know where the costs of gas and electricity are going, and that really matters to us. Why? The poorest tenth of the population spend a bit over 20% of their money on food, gas and electricity. The richest tenth of the population don't even spend 10% of their money on those items. So the sort of inflation we are seeing now hurts our tenants the most. What can we do about it? Well, we have the ability to pass on a rent increase of CPI plus 1% in the coming year. That could be a 4 or 5% rent increase, hitting them at exactly the same time as their costs go up and universal credit comes down. Should we do that? Now, it is an ethical question. The government is unlikely, I am told, to impose a rent cut, so it is down to us. And we are on the horns of a dilemma, aren't we? Do we pass on a rent increase that we absolutely know will hurt our customers? Or what do we do about the coming costs of decarbonisation, of regeneration and fire safety? Fail to pass on a rent increase might help our residents immediately. Failure to pass on the rent increase could hurt our business plans forever. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Nigel Farage is all over this on GB News, which is the only YouTube channel with fewer viewers than myself. The challenge that Farage is putting up is that why on earth is a country that produces only 1% of CO2 making decarbonisation its top priority? So we could yet see some action on that. He is the tail that, generally speaking, wags the Conservative dog. We will see what happens on that one. But right in front of us, our boards and councils have an ethical dilemma. Rent increase to pay for decarbonisation and improvements, rent stability, rent cut, call it what you will, to help our people tide themselves over a big financial crisis in their households. How do you make that decision? It's not for me to say, it's not for the experts to say. It's for you to decide with your tenants and residents at the top table. This is a big opportunity, people, to get governance right at a time when ITV and others have been criticising us. So time for the big tent, time for the well-informed discussion, time to level with our residents. And speaking of food, being Scottish, all I ever get is gruel. And let's play ourselves out with a fantastic song from the 1960s musical Oliver. Food, glorious food. Yum, yum.
Food, glorious food. Hot sausage and mustard. While we're in the mood, cold jelly and custard. Peas, pudding and saveloy. What next is the question? Rich gentlemen